Welcome back to Hannity. The legal troubles for Obamacare are beginning to unfold. The state of Oklahoma has sued the administration in an effort to stop the federal government from imposing tax penalties on certain states, businesses, and individuals without their own health care exchanges. Now, the complaint says the states without their own exchanges should not face tax penalties because the law only provides for the tax to be collected in states with their own exchange as opposed to the federal exchange. What does it all mean? My next guest, Oklahoma Attorney General Scott Pruitt, says if the challenge is in fact successful, the deficit spending associated with the law could be reduced by $700 billion in the next decade. He's here to explain it. Oklahoma Attorney General Scott Pruitt. All right, Mr. Attorney General, why don't you break down the law for us, what this means, what the suit's about?
Well, good evening, Sean. I think one of the things you have to recognize at the beginning is when Congress passed the Affordable Care Act, they recognized the importance of the states in rolling out these exchanges. And we now see why. They've not done a very good job of it, and they knew that they could not commandeer or require the states to set up the exchanges, so they did what Congress does often. They used money to incentivize the states to set up the exchanges. And that's the part about these subsidies flowing through the state healthcare exchanges. And when 34 states said no, the IRS came in after the fact and said, we'll fix that. We'll pass a rule that says the subsidies can flow through federal and state exchanges and not comply with the law. So our lawsuit's about making sure that the letter of the law is complied with and the IRS doesn't act inconsistent with it.
All right, but the law didn't say that. The law, in other words, gave you the option, did it not? It didn't say there'd be penalties if you didn't do it.
That's right. If there's no state healthcare exchanges, there are no subsidies. And if there are no subsidies, there are no penalties. And now the IRS is coming in after the fact saying that we're going to disregard the law and we're going to assess the penalties in all 50 states whether state exchanges have been set up or not. So they're doing what they do often, Sean. You have agencies in Washington, both EPA and Health and Human Services and the IRS. They come in after the fact and they say we're going to improve upon the law. We're going to fix the statute. And that's not their job.
Well, this is one of the issues. Jonathan Turley, a constitutional professor at George Washington University Law, actually said that the president has repeatedly crossed constitutional lines. For example, he made recess appointments when the Senate's not in recess. That's not legal. He's made edicts, declares edicts and changes to the law, delays to the law. The law doesn't allow him to do that. In other cases, he's chosen not to enforce laws like the immigration law. Is he right? Is this a president that literally is crossing the constitutional line? Is he?
He's very much right, Sean, and the President, under Article 2 of the Constitution, has a duty to faithfully execute the laws as passed by Congress. And in many instances, with the Affordable Care Act, the delay of the employer mandate penalty, the removal of the cap on out-of-pocket expenditures. I mean, he has unilaterally changed the law, and he doesn't have the authority to do that. The President has said, Sean, that he can't wait on Congress. Under our system of government, he has to. And he's not, he has acted inconsistent with Article 2.
All right, Mr. Attorney General, we're going to follow the suit. Thank you so much for updating us. Appreciate it.